Hello everyone, my name is Karina from Deer and Wild, and today I'm going to show you how to do a square toe cast on for a toe up sock using the Avec yarn. So this is 100% Merino Superwash. If you have already purchased the pattern, I use this toe for loads of sock patterns. It's my favorite type of cast on. It's a little bit unusual. So if you already have the pattern, I'm just going to get straight to it. There's also some photos on the pattern, but it might be easier for you to watch the video. So we are going to cast on using both needles. Oh, and we're using 3mm. There we go. Is it focusing? It's not focusing, but anyway, these are 3mm circular needles, so you're going to need 2 of them. Put 2 needles together. And you're just going to do a long tail cast on. You're going to cast on, let me see how to do this so that I can also see. Why is this not focusing? There we go. So we're going to cast on 6 stitches. There you go. Now that you have 6 stitches, you're going to take one of the needles out and arrange your stitches on your needle. I'm going to knit 1 foundation row, oops. Always finding it hard knitting and having the camera in front of me, but I hope you can see everything. So I'm just knitting plain at the moment. Right, there's a foundation row, and what we're going to do now that is a bit unusual, this is where your working yarn is, and this is the short tail, the rest of it. You're going to take your work and move your needle out and take your work across all the way to the other needle. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit a little square, and we're going to knit 7 rows now, and after that we're going to pick up the stitches all around so that we're then going to work in the round. So this is now your long tail, and what we want is to create a float at the back of our work. This is so that you have more insulation at your toes, and it helps keep the toes stronger, and it also helps the sock keep your toes warmer, which is something I really like. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that, you can just knit plain. You don't have to drag your work across, but I really like this method. I think it gives a really nice shaped toe, and I really like that the socks become warmer. So now you just have to hold your yarn in place and knit normally. So 1, 2, whoops. So there you've got your first row knitted, and we need to do this 7 more times plus your foundation row. We're going to take the needle, pull it through, and bringing your float across. It's a little bit fiddly for the first one. There we go. But actually you're just knitting normally. There you go, you can see your knitting growing, and again. So I'm just going to continue knitting these. You can skip ahead if you like. And last one, there we go. So you can see, have your little rectangle, and at the back you have your floats. You can't see them that well because the knit is kind of curling in, but there they are. So what you're going to do now is, this is going to be the one side of your sock, and this is going to be then the other side of your sock. And you're going to increase on this side and on this side. So you're going to be knitting in the round. This is the tip of the toe. So what you need to do now is you need to pick up the stitches down here. So we have 6 here, you're going to pick up 6 here, then you're going to pull your needle through, and with your other needle you're going to pick up 6 here and 6 here. So then you have a circular needle on one side and a circular needle on the other side. So I don't know if I can get you to see what I'm going to pick up on the side, but I'll just go through the last loop. So I'm going to go in here. I don't know if you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. So now in total on one side of my socks I have 12 stitches. I'm going to pull the needle through, and I am now ready to pick up my other needle, also through millimeters. They're exactly the same, and we're going to pick up 6 stitches at the bottom. So you might have, it might be a little bit fiddly. You might not be able to see clearly where I'm picking them up, but I try to go into each stitch. So now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm never sure if I'm getting the right stitches here, but it doesn't matter as long as you don't have a hole. I'm not too bothered with the exact pickup location. So there we go, we have 6. So to make it easier for you, because these are quite tight, you can actually pull the needle through and then pick up the rest, or you can continue from where you are here. So now you need to pick up 6 on this side. Let's find the last stitch. It's a little bit fiddly, so let's go in here 1, 2, oops, 3. You know what, I'm just going to pull it through because it's going to make it easier. Just gives me more leeway to turn my work. Sorry about the moving camera. Four, oops. 5, the last one. Six. There we go. So you just pull your needle through. So now, as you can see, you have your one circular and your other circular, all stitches picked up, and you can see your floats at the back. There we are. And now you're ready to start knitting in the round and start increasing stitches. You're going to do a foundation round. So you can just continue in the same direction as we're picking up the stitches. And how you start is you pull your needle through, squish it in there, and with the same needle that you pulled through, this is the needle you're gonna work with. So you're always working the same row with the same needle. If you pick up the other circular, you might end up with a bit of a messy situation. Oh, and if you want, you can also place a marker here. I don't have one right now, but you can place a marker just so that it makes it easier for you to count your rows. Or, how else do you know? This is on the other side. Anyway, place a marker if you like. I'm just going to do it from memory now because this is only a small demonstration piece. So you're just knitting plain stockinette. Your first round is going to be a little bit tighter, but it's going to get much easier and loosen up as you go along. And you can later decide which is going to be the front of your sock, which is going to be the back, like your instep and your sole. How you put the next needle through. Where's my yarn? There it is. There we go. So you have now finished your first round. You can see the little toe already showing. Look how cute that is. There's your little tiptoe. And now we're going to start our increases. So let's decide, this is the instep and this is the sole of the foot. And you're going to start increasing 2 stitches in on each side. So on this row, you're going to be increasing here and here. And on this, you're going to be increasing in the middle there and in there. So you can just pick up you can increase in any way you like, but I like doing a make one left and make one right. So, and you're going to be increasing every other row. And until you're going to be increasing, I don't remember what the pattern says, but until you get a certain amount of stitches on your needles, whatever the pattern is telling you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the pattern, you can purchase it. I'll put a link somewhere in the screen. So we've knitted our 2. We're gonna pick up and make 1, knit across to the last 2 stitches. And now you're in the last before the last 2 stitches. Make one here. Pull your needle through, turn your work, pull the other needle in. You can also work in double pointed needles if you want to, but since I discovered socks on circular needles, I've never looked back. I found this really a really great method, and also nothing slips out. You can store your projects so easily and they just sit on the cables, which I love. I don't like a slipped out needle accident. I don't think anyone does. Okay, so we're gonna knit 2. Make 1. Knit across. Oops. Now we got to the last 2 stitches and we're going to make 1 more. Again, it's a little fiddly. And there we go. This is our last increase of the row. We've knitted 1 round now, 1 increase round. Now you can see how it really neatly, the knitting comes up of this this side and the other side. You can see how your toe is forming. There we go. So after this, you're just going to continue doing a round without increases, round with increases, round without increases, round with increases, until you reach the number of stitches that you need on the pattern.